time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. And quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms.
And who the fuck do you think you are, Shlomo? Providing your 2 cents on our Constitution. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear a foreign national suggest that our inalienable rights be limited, I hear the I'm proud to be, and all of the Star Spangled Banner all starts playing in my head. I get heated and I'm angry. Left, right, red, blue, Republican, Democrat, from the hardest left to the hardest right, all agree. If we have given you the impression that you get a say, we have a huge problem. Never forget, you are our charity project. We are unwillingly the American people contributing to. You are a welfare state, and you'd like to give us advice as to how we should proceed?
Network, Shlomo Kramer, also one of the founders of Checkpoint, another big cyber company. Shlomo, it's great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How is AI, cyber warfare, shaping geopolitics right now?
So AI is going to revolutionize cyber warfare, is revolutionize cyber warfare from critical infrastructure to the fabric of society and politics, and undermining it, giving unfair advantage to authoritarian governments against democratic countries. First Amendment type of...
That's already happening?
That's already happening. You're seeing the polarization in countries that allow for the First Amendment and protect it, which is great. And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. And quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
control the social media.
Yeah, should do that. And we need to educate people against lies, and government need to develop cyber defense programs that are as sophisticated as the cyber attack. Today it's a 1 to 100 ratio. And really government are not doing this today at any rate, and enterprises are left fending from themselves.
The technology is moving much faster than the political system typically can to respond to
so
it.
you need to use technology in order to stabilize the political system, and you need to put adjustments that are perhaps not.
I mean, we're at a point, though,
necessary.
right? I mean, I can go on Instagram or TikTok, and frankly, it already is becoming unclear what is fake and what is real.
Exactly.
And once you eliminate that ability to discern truth from fiction, then what are you left with?
You're left with polarization of society and inner fighting, and you have to control that. And you see that already happening across the world. So this is an urgent need by the government to do that. And until then, enterprises are buying by themselves more and more cybersecurity solutions, but they can't afford all these solutions by themselves. So they are looking for ways to deliver more efficient consumption.
And I assume you have some of those ways, obviously.
Right. So, and that drives really the next generation of companies such as Wiz, CrowdStrike, Cato networks on the network that are platforms and are able to deliver this extended need for security in an affordable way for enterprises.
For enterprises,
right.
Not for governments.
Not for government, but government need to start building their programs. And the same tools can be used also by government.
But the two leaders in AI, one is China, which obviously already is using AI to control the population. Yeah. And here we're all out in a race with China. And so we're not as interested in regulation right now, certainly not at the state level, for example.
And that's a big mistake, because if China has a single narrative that protects its inner stability, and the U.S. has allows for multiple narratives, it puts them in an unfair advantage that long-term is going to cost the stability of the nation. So changes must be made.
Why is it that a billionaire that is from Israel, not from the United States, he has no business giving or airing his view to the United States, comes to the United States, mounts on their national TV and telling the government that there is a need to limit the First Amendment rule. Like, it's the audacity for me. Who are you, or what are you in the grand scale of events? Who exactly do you think you are? That's the question I'm asking. Like, where did you come from? Who are you? How did you even arrive at this? How is that your problem or your business? Who gave you the rights or the audacity to come and say this on live TV like in the US? I'm just wondering though, because come on. Anyways, let's get into the videos. Credit belongs to all the original creators of the videos I'll be using today on this platform. I do not take credit for any of them. Guys, just stay back and watch the videos, okay? I'll be right back.
Did you see that there's an Israeli billionaire going on the news and telling us lowly Americans that it's time to limit the First Amendment? It's time to limit the First Amendment, is what he said. So I'm just curious if that's not a sign, if that's not the bell tolling for the death of the United States and our reigning supreme globally, then I don't know what that was. However, Shlomo, I don't want to take any advice from people like you. First of all, you're a billionaire, so I would love to see how much charitable donations you give. I would love to see how beneficial you are to the world. But what he's saying to us bourgeois Americans is that we really need to be quiet. We need to pipe down a little bit, and they need to monitor everybody's social media. They are going to stack rank people to rank their authenticity to make sure that you should be hearing what they're saying. We need to control what people are saying. That's the words that Shlomo is saying. What Shlomo really means is that he needs to control what we think, because they are currently losing the battle on American thoughts. And the most valuable real estate on the face of human earth is the real estate between your ears, the 6 inches between your 2 ears. And if they can control that, they can control everything about your life. And they realize they're losing control there. So Shlomo wants to control not only everything we say and everything we see, but they quite literally want to control what and how you think. Don't allow it. That is the definition of a red flag. Shlomo, we see you, buddy.
Clearly, y'all be fucking with my page and getting me out there the way that y'all supposed to get me out there, even if you don't necessarily comment and engage, because TikTok do not want me to talk to y'all about how the fucking this Israeli man is talking about limiting the First Amendment right in America in order to protect it. That shit was live, broadcasted live. I'm gonna need you to go see that shit, because they're not letting me stitch the video with the clip included. Look that shit up.
An Israeli cybersecurity billionaire, pretty much suggesting that they limit the First Amendment right and that the government takes control of social media because we shouldn't have freedom of speech. Didn't we just go through this in 2025, like with them trying to limit our freedom of speech? Come on, man. Like, and then you'll have some Trump supporters who really get under my comments and be like, yeah, it should be limited. You guys should not be able to say the things that you say, until you trying to say something and you're silenced. Y'all don't ever care until it affects you directly. Y'all don't understand the severity of what y'all did, man. Y'all done put this man in office, and this man is not here for America. He's here for other reasons, because nothing he has done has benefited everyday Americans. If you are a working citizen, if you are a business owner, not even a business owner, I'm going to say small business owner. If you're not a billionaire, trillionaire, millionaire, if you're not one of his friends, you're not benefiting from anything that he does. Anything. So just imagine people like myself and other content creators who talk about the news for people who don't watch the news. All we're doing is giving our opinions on what happened on the news, and then our platforms get taken away, and then we don't make no money no more. Because you want to limit what we have to say. Y'all want to be able to do stuff, but y'all don't want the reaction that comes with it. Y'all don't want people to talk about it. Yeah, I know. You want me to be quiet? They listen. My bad. They listen.
It's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it.
every American needs to pay attention. This rhetoric is a problem and frankly goes against everything we stand for as a society and as a country. This man was on CNBC yesterday talking about how the government needs to control everything. Here, listen.
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
Frankly,
The government.
That's a very big problem, in my opinion. This man works for a company called Cato Networks and is in the country across the way. Yep. This is what they want to do. This is what's at stake. And we cannot let them.
I don't agree with policing language. You already have control of my limbs and my body. Hashtag me too. I'm forced to comply with laws that I might not agree with. But you also want to control my thoughts and my speech in a very strange way. Hate speech ensures you live in a society where there's free speech. If everything you see online is lovey-dovey and you're in agreement with everything, I can guarantee you what you're reading is being sanitized and is being censored.
An Israeli billionaire is now calling for our First Amendment to be limited. He makes a good point if you listen to the whole thing. The First Amendment is number one for a reason, because it's the most important, and it's pretty clear. Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech, and I'm sorry, I don't care where this guy is from, but we don't need some foreigner telling us to change our constitution. Except that's not what he's calling for. You know as I do, the First Amendment is not absolute. There's laws against speech already. You can't incite imminent lawless action or make true threats or defamation, etc. And the courts have consistently ruled these limits align with the First Amendment. I mean, those are relatively rare situations. This billionaire is talking about social media, and he wants the government to limit speech there beyond what is already banned. And I'm sorry, we had Biden pressure social media companies to take down vaccine disinformation during COVID, some of which proved to be true. We have Trump's FCC threatening to take away the license of anti-Trump comedians. It's just a slippery slope. The more you give the government to control and police speech, the more they abuse it from both sides. Well, specifically, the billionaire was talking about two things. First off, AI. We are nearing an unprecedented point where AI videos are becoming indistinguishable from reality. And if you cannot decipher truth from fiction online, you have nothing but chaos. For instance, in Slovakia, we had days before an election, a fake AI recording of the pro-West candidate spread on social media, where his deep fake talked about rigging the election, and then he ended up losing to a more pro-Putin candidate. This is a real issue, and social media companies are figuring it out. On X, you have community notes, which are essentially added context for fact-checking. Instagram and TikTok have AI detectors and label things if they're AI generated. And also, this is why it's important for people to find a few trustworthy creators or outlets to get their news from, like both sides of news. But even before AI, people were accustomed to not believing everything they saw on the internet. Using this as some pretense for further censorship will be abused. Well, as Mark Twain said, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting its shoes on. That shows fake news is an age-long problem long before AI. But now the ability to deceive is increasing, and we shouldn't wait until, say, a deep fake of a missile attack is created that causes some sort of war to occur before we get a hold on this. Okay, governments never did and never should depend on social media videos to learn if they're getting attacked. We have missile detection. Well, you can see something like that happening on a smaller scale, but the other key point the billionaire was talking about was the rise of foreign actors affecting our politics on social media. We saw when Elon started showing people where accounts are from. Many of the most divisive political accounts on X, further polarizing our country, were from places like Pakistan or Syria, intentionally trying to divide us. Yeah, and again, that problem is being figured out by companies and individuals. That's who we should put our trust in, not the government. But if you watch this billionaire's interview, he seems to envy the system of China, where they have strict controls and therefore are less polarized than democratic societies that sadly have free speech. And I'm sorry, I think the freedom we have here outweighs the negatives of online polarization. Well, when that polarization reaches our real world politics and you have constant stalemate, meanwhile China is unified towards world domination, it begs some questions. I mean, go on X, it's littered with racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, anti-black, anti-Indian, anti-Muslim content all over. A perfect pretense for more government controlling speech. The fundamental disagreement is we trust the people to see through the nonsense on their own and use social media safely. And we're only asking for slight common sense AI and foreign actor guardrails. Come on. Yeah, it always starts as slight, huh?
You heard him right. He's saying that the government should control social media and should take away our First Amendment rights. They are going to control us. They are going to control what we say. And if we say something out of line, we're going to face the consequences through the government. That is what they're saying. They're going to use cyber warfare on the citizens. That was perfectly clear. They're not even afraid to get on national TV and say it anymore because they already have a chokehold on us all. I hope you're happy, MAGA, because this is what you signed us all up for. Our first Jewish president.
I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity.
That's Israeli cybersecurity billionaire Shlomo Kramer telling CNBC that it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. I don't even know what that means. Do you? Then he goes on to say in the same interview that they need to control all social platforms and take charge of what people are saying. It's crazy how it's always people from a certain country or a certain religion tied to that country who feel the need to control speech on social platforms. Where are the 2A defenders when the 1A is being infringed upon? It's amazing that I can talk about any country or any group of people on my social platforms, but I'm silenced when it comes to what they consider hate speech against Israel, or some who speak against Jewish people. This reminds me of a quote from Charlie Kirk, one of the things I actually agree with him on. He said, hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it is protected by the First Amendment. Keep America free. I mean, he's 100% right there. Now check out this video.
We banned content with harmful stereotypes about Jews, such as the claim that Jews run the world or other major institutions. We updated our policies to recognize that the term Zionist can be used as a proxy for Jews and Israelis. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media.
It's so damn laughable. This is Facebook's Meta head of Jewish diaspora. Why do they need this department in a social media company? Do they have one for all religions or races, or just Jewish? She claimed in that video that Meta bans content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media. Does anyone see the irony in that statement? She's basically saying that if someone claims Zionists control the media, it's banned. What's going on? Does she not see the irony? So here we have an Israeli Zionist cybersecurity billionaire saying they need to control speech on social platforms, but it would be anti-Semitic if I say that, yet it's okay if he does. And here we have Meta's head of Jewish diaspora saying that they are banning speech that claims Zionists control the media. I don't know. Make it make sense.
Hi, my fellow Americans. I want to ask you something. Did you see this?
But it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
control the social media.
Yeah.
Once you saw that, tell me what you think about it. In the first time in 250 years, I feel that the United States is in jeopardy, that our constitutional republic has now been sold out by our U.S. Congress and our administration. All of them have pledged allegiance to these people. We haven't done that. We're the only ones who are the holdouts. All 340 million of us are holding out. I haven't told anyone that I pledge allegiance to any country except the United States of America. But I need to know how you feel about this. How do you feel about someone from another country saying that they are going to completely wipe out our First Amendment rights, that they're going to abolish parts of our U.S. Constitution? Why? Because it does not serve their best interests. They're not talking about what best serves the interests of the United States or its citizens. They're talking about what serves the best interests of another country that's the size of New Jersey. Another country that does not benefit us. They don't do anything for us. They don't pay for our wars. They don't pay for our health care. They don't pay for anything for U.S. citizens. But just the opposite happens all the time. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. Please leave comments and don't forget to repost. And I'm going to say this. Every American man, you should be ashamed if you allow people to come and destroy a country that our grandfathers, great-grandfathers, and great-great-grandfathers made off of their blood, sweat, and tears. Whereas you have people that are coming in now and all they have to do is write a check. And they write a check to our U.S. Congress and our U.S. administration. Anyway, let me know what you think about this.
Well, it looks like they're saying the quiet part out loud again.
And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it.
That's Cato Network CEO Shlomo Kramer, and he is seeking to leverage his cybersecurity network to control the narrative of political discourse.
We need to control the platforms.
Cato's product, SACE, or Secure Access Service Edge, is an enterprise that streamlines user-to-network-to-cloud security by seamlessly monitoring interactions between physical locations and users and the services they seek to access.
We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online.
Yes, the service seeks to control everything through a resilient cloud network, provide a global private backbone by ensuring they are connected to every node on the interwebs, leverage that connection to optimize traffic, and effectively provide digital experience monitoring, ensuring that potential issues are identified and mitigated before they are reported by end users.
We need to use technology in order to stabilize the political system and quickly before it's too late.
I sincerely do not know what to say concerning this issue, sincerely, because I am in shock. A foreigner coming into America and telling them all of these, like how the United States is a democratic country where freedom of speech is number one. Like, there's nothing that can be done about your freedom of speech. That's the number one rule. Freedom of speech. Taking your First Amendment rights away is crazy. And I don't know how that is going to play out, sincerely. But the guy has some guts, man. He's got some guts. Guys, what do you think? I really would like to hear your opinions about this, and I'll be reading your comments down below. Let us know your views. Let us know what you think. I, for one, I feel this is unheard of. It's not done anyway. He has no rights, sincerely. But like I said, that's my opinion. I'd like to know your opinion. I'd like to hear your views. What do you think about this? Comment down below. Thank you guys for joining me on my channel today. I am so grateful, and credit belongs to all the original creators of the videos I have used today on this channel. Thank you so much, guys. If you're new on this channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you and God bless. Bye.